I was drafted. My dad would not sign for me to enlist. I was the only boy till I was grown, and I had a bigger brother. He was 2 years old when I left home, but he wouldn't sign. He said, "No, when they draft you, you can go, but I'm not going to sign for you." So I had to wait till they called me.
Well, I wanted to be an infantry soldier for some reason. I don't know why, but I was always carrying a rifle anyway. So I figured a rifle would be pretty handy in my hands.
Well, it was either that or be drafted into the Army. And I don't like camping. I don't be out there on the water that long. So I think I'll go down and see what the Air Force has to offer. And they offered me a good job. And I said, I'll take it.
The Navy always has a dry bunk and 3 meals a day, and the other branches, Marines and Army, they got foxholes and eat sea rations and stuff like that, so I chose the Navy.
Tradition, I had 3 brothers who were in the Navy, and also I just wanted to see the world, see places. So.
It was right after I got out of high school. I graduated from DeQuincy High School in 1943, and everybody had the war fever. It was gung-ho, so I couldn't wait to get into the service. Everybody wanted to go fight somewhere.
I got a draft notice for the Army. But down there, they said, you don't have to go in the Army. They said, as far as we're concerned, you're a Marine. I said, well, I'm tired of waiting. I went in the Army.
The main reason why I joined the Army is money for college.
Well, coming out of World War II, it was expected, or maybe not expected, but desirable to go in there and serve your country. And we did that. Most of us done that through the military.
I was in Europe when I went to Nam. So I came home for 45 days, and then I flew to California, from California to Vietnam.
We had a place called North Fort Polk, which was Tigerland. They were training men to go to Vietnam. They had everything set up. They even had South Vietnamese soldiers there that were, that you opposed during training or whatever. So you know what they looked like and what their customs were. You had to learn everything about them, even their weapons. You had to learn about the AK-47, different kind of weapons that they used. You had to eat the food they ate and all that in case you get captured, you'd be able to know something like that. So that was a very tough place, and even though that was my home ground, I was 8 weeks away, 70 miles from Lake Charles. I got to come home one time, one weekend. Friday night pass, went straight back there Sunday. They shipped me out. I went to Fort Benning, Georgia, and started jump training, paratroop training. Run.
We went to the Tonkin Gulf during the war. That's what we had a mission. We had to go into Tonkin Gulf and gather some data. So as far as seeing the action, we didn't see the action.
Our home port was in Long Beach. Then I served a 9-month tour in Vietnam.
Anyway, then I went from there to Texas A&M for a period of time, down to Chicago, Illinois, then to Annapolis, Maryland, Lido Beach, Long Island, and then San Diego, and then I was shipped out overseas. So I got to see a lot of the country too, at Uncle Sam's expense.
And we shipped out of there to France. And we like I told you, we went into France just north of Cherbourg Peninsula. And as far as being able to tell you where, I don't know the name of them towns. And we didn't go to town. I wasn't sightseeing. But I was wounded in Barneyville, France. And then we went on from Barneyville, France, into Belgium. And then we fought across Belgium into Holland.
Well, what happened? The Korean War broke out. So I'd been through 5 major campaigns during World War II in the South Pacific. So my buddy that was working there with me, we said to each other, let's go volunteer to go to Korea. So we went to personnel, enlisted personnel office, and said, we want to volunteer to go to Korea. He said, okay, let us check your records. So they went and pulled both their records. He told my buddy, he said, yeah, you qualify, you can go. He looked at me and said, you can't go. He said, you've had enough combat. And you've had training as a recruiter. And right now, we need recruiters worse than we need anything.
I went to Vietnam. We traveled to the Philippines. Our patrol boats were shipped to the Philippines on large transport ships. They were put off at Subic Bay, in the Philippines, which was at that time was a major naval base in the Philippines, U.S. naval base.
Well, I've seen combat on several occasions. I've been to Iraq twice, and each time I went was a year. I went to Afghanistan for 16 months. I mean, I've been deployed a lot.
I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina, in Camp Lejeune. Served with the Combat Engineer Unit, which I actually deployed to Iraq with them back in 2003. Then I was in Camp Smith, Hawaii. Very fun place. Got to go to Korea 3 times. Good times. And then my last command, I was back in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, serving with a logistics group, and which I deployed to Iraq again. And now I'm a recruiter.
Well, my first assignment was Germany. And like I said, the people over there are no different than here. They've been through an extremely misled experience. But other than that, I mean, it's not a lot different.
We learned how to shoot weapons, did a lot of running, a lot of PT, physical training, get you in shape, learn how to throw hand grenades, just basics every day, a lot of running, a lot of marching.
The training is exhilarating. I mean, they give you a task that seems unreachable, but then they give you it's goal oriented, and it works on merit. There's no grades. You can't get an A, B, C, or a D. You either pass or fail at every step, and it's, you know, hands on.
Routine. 5 o'clock in the morning, you got up, made your bed, flipped the quarter,